Good morning, guys. I hope that you are all staying nice and warm. I thought I'd make a quick video to help explain the target that you're going to be working on today. The water vascular system is covered in your digital notebook, and you should be up to slide 11. If you are, you're ready to start target 1. If you're not, you need to go back and fill in some slides so that you know what to do for this target. So another warning is to be sure that you look ahead. You do need 4 points, again, like every other learning target. So if you are looking at the first one here, the next target, you will be writing a formal letter. So, make sure that you've planned accordingly. Also, don't forget to put your sources. You automatically get a level 7 in your resources if you do not put the website somewhere that you've used. So, or the websites that you use. So whether that be at the bottom of the notes slide or the bottom of your doc or whatever, just don't forget to put your resources that you use. Okay, so our target is to create a model that describes the system of feeding and movement, which is the water vascular system. So let's just go over all of them. Level 1 is a flow chart, and you started to do one of those in your digital notebook. So you can refer to that. This is one that's going to describe the structures and functions of the water vascular system. So you're going to do this in Google Drawing. You're going to include the name of each structure, a brief description of the function, and don't forget to either add in the Google Drawing or add a separate Google Doc of the 5-sentence paragraph that kind of puts all the pieces together and describes the water vascular system. So level 2 and level 3 require an analogy. So what you want to do is think of the whole water vascular system together and think of something that has parts that function like the water vascular system. So we can think of the water vascular system like a school. And by the way, you can't use this one as your analogy, but if this is the kind of thing that you want to think about, where it has parts. Okay, so water vascular system has parts. There's a madreporite where water comes in, and there's a bunch of canals where water flows through. Well, if you think of the water vascular system like a school, we can say the madreporite is like the front doors of our school, okay, where we're letting all the students in. You can think of some of the hallways as canals, okay? You can also think of a classroom as being, the ampulla, where it's holding water, it's holding students. So you have to go through each of the structures of the water vascular system and think about what is like that. So come up with an analogy, and you have to do that for level 2 and level 3. Difference between level 2 and level 3. Level 2 is if you are an artist or if you like to doodle, this one is for you. You're going to create a 1-page visual sketch note. I apologize, my dogs are grunting on me here. The 1-page sketch note. So if you've ever made a sketch note, here's some examples of sketch notes. You can see they have lots of visual drawings. The title's very visual. The words are in different kind of fonts. There's different colors to indicate different things. This one has an analogy itself, so you can kind of use some of those to help you. This is a very fancy one, not necessarily biology, but you can use arrows, you can use like groups or flows, word bubbles. So you can Google sketchnoting and look at some of the images for examples. What you need to include in your sketch note is a title, okay, with the purpose of the water vascular system, the name of each structure, a description of the function of each structure. And again, this is a doodle, a Google note. It doesn't have to be so many words, okay? If you have a function in a picture or a function in a few words that are visual, that's fine too. But you also must have a picture analogy that accompanies each structure. All right, the third one is to create an analogy and use EduCreations, which is a whiteboard that can be recorded, or screencastify, which is similar to what I'm doing. So you would have something like on a Google slide, and then you would be recording your screen. You want a description of the water vascular system and how your analogy compares to it. So if you're using Google Slides, maybe you have a description of each structure and what it does, and then the analogy that compares to it. If you're using educations, maybe you've drawn that structure, and a name of each structure with a description of the function. So that's just an analogy that is, you basically are going to be narrating your analogy. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, get started.